Yes, people, welcome to Bro v Bro TV, and this is On The Spot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the notification button, which will tell you when we next post. So, obviously, we've got two new faces. I'm going to introduce them. So, Andy, big Tottenham fan, and Kaz, who is a massive Liverpool fan as well. So, obviously, to start off with, because we're coming near the obviously Euros and stuff, and obviously there's been talk of who should go and stuff. So we're going to start off with who should Southgate take to the Euros. Okay, so obviously the main thing is in that midfield area because it's the most exciting position for England fans and stuff. So the main four people have spoken about are Phil Foden, James Maddison, Jack Grealish, and Mason Mount. So, guys, to start off with, what do you think of obviously the options that they have?
I think obviously you mentioning those four names, the name that just pops out to me and I think should be number one on that list is Phil Foden. I think he's stepped up this season really. Like he's just like I don't know. He's he just looks so small, and he's obviously at City and he's just turned up like amongst obviously stars, players worth 50 million and whatnot. He's just stepped up. His performance have been unreal. He's now scoring goals. Obviously, he played a little bit last season.
Yeah.
But this season he got more of a chance, and he's just stepped up like in big moments. He's scored important goals, and he's taken out like Sterling out of the team. So
he's done that. Yeah, which is crazy as well.
Yeah. So for me, number one on the list, definitely Phil Foden.
Yeah. Kaz, what are you saying? Like in terms of Phil, obviously we'll stick to Phil Foden for now. Like, what do you think of him? Like, do you think he should be starting?
Yeah, definitely. I think Phil Foden has been on form consistently for most of the season, and to break into the City first team, you have to be a hell of a player. And to, like Ish said, to drop someone like Sterling, who maybe he's been falling off a little bit, but he's still been one of the best performers for City for the last 2, maybe 3 seasons.
Yeah.
To drop him and
I'm telling you,
one of the first names on the team sheet at his age, come on, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. Honestly, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and Lomi, like, what about you?
Yeah, mate, I'm the same. I think the one that jumps out straight away is obviously Foden. Like, just what he's done. I think even Guardiola now sees him as one of the first names on the team sheet. And for like a 20-year-old kid to come through the academy, you look at the people they're leaving out as well, and he's in their first choice team. Champions League final, he's one of the first names on the sheet, 100%. So he's the one that stands out. But to be fair, the other one, like, that impresses me more and more every time I see him is Mount. And I know that's easy to say because he obviously scored the other night, but he is so versatile in the way he plays as well. Compared to 10, you can drop him down and play him as an 8. I think he's for me would be one of the first names on the sheet as well for Southgate. Southgate, Mount and Foden, definitely.
Yeah, Carl.
I'm similar to Lomas. I think we got all the gear, not the idea. Because I really, with that kind of team, you don't really want Southgate managing it, if I'm honest. But you got to keep it real.
Yeah, but you got to think.
We'll get on to that a little bit later because.
But for me, you have to drop Mount into the 8 because drop Mount into the 8. But for me, I'm a massive fan of Grealish as well. Yeah. But if Grealish wasn't injured,
Yeah.
It's very, very tight. Like it's that mad. I'm not bothered who starts between them two.
Yeah.
Because the
I'm not
talent they
gonna lie.
both, the talent they both have is unbelievable. They're different type of players. Because Foden is an unbelievable technical player, and for his size, he just gets out of positions. Like you're thinking how, and his movement, he just picks the right. He's just popping up right places. It's ridiculous. But Grealish as well. I know he's been injured for a while, but people have forgotten, man. That guy, the talent he carries, I don't know.
If you know about your football, trust me, you have not forgotten about Grealish. For me, as like from all the attacking midfielders, he's got the most. He's got the most in his locker. Like
he's got the most X factor.
He just glides. Everything just seems perfect. Funny enough, one of our friends said this to us. Like he said, he's like the prince of football. Like he just looks good on the ball. Like everything he does is just gracious. Like obviously, it's a big comparison, but like you know, like Zidane when he played football, it just looks gracious and like, obviously. It's a big statement, but just like when he plays, he's got that swagger. Like, he just looks good. Like
that's the thing. Like for me, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even just saying it, but for me, he's my number one, Grealish. Like, because he's just different. He's the one, because he plays. He doesn't. I think he doesn't care who he plays against. Like, he's just recently come into the scene for England. Like obviously the game against Belgium was the one where I thought, like he's shown what he's like on the international stage. Obviously it's different because it's going to be a tournament, but I think he thrives off pressure. So me is like, Grealish is number one. But the thing is, they've all started together. Like,
what are you judging it on? Because if you're judging it on performances that you've seen, then 100% Grealish should be up there. But if you're judging it on consistent performance, great form throughout the whole season, then it's going to be difficult to put him up there because he's been injured for a lot of the season. Is he match fit? These are the things. This is the Euros. This is a tournament.
Yeah.
You want to take. Go on, sorry.
Sorry to cut you. But the thing is, he has been consistent before his injury. Like I think he's been that good. Even if he doesn't play till the end of the season, but then says, I'm fully fit, I take him. Like,
one thing I'm going to say is, how do you pick your squad? Because do you pick on whoever's performing, coming up close to a tournament? Do you pick on experience? Do you pick on who you prefer, like your personal
That's the $1 million question. Honestly, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, Carl, what do you think? How would you pick? How do you pick?
See, our biggest problem before, we'd always have a big star before a tournament be half injured or not fully fit. Like for example, Rooney, and then we're looking at Rooney saying do something.
Yeah.
And it's like it's too much pressure. Like it's especially the way we play. We don't have a system. It's just literally all the superstars on the pitch. Someone's got to do something.
Yeah.
So for me, you got to pick. It's a mixture of form and experience. Trying to get that balance right is not easy. We found that out already. But I think, especially with attackers, I think it's got to be based on form.
Yeah. What about you, Lomi? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. Like, it's a tough one to decide, but I think, and Carl touched on it as well, like the system's the most important thing. Like, it's very easy to like look at the list of players and say, oh, everyone's got to go. Trent's got to go. Foden, Grealish, get them all there. But the most important thing is develop a system that works. Like, the team is the most important thing. So we need to work on a system. To be fair, he did that in the World Cup. Southgate, like, we played 3-5-2. He come up with a good system. If you look back on the team now, there's a few people like Walker, right centre half, like a few that didn't really fit in, but he come up with a good system. We didn't play great football, but we was like strong at set pieces. We got to the semi-final. Like, I just want him to develop a system and then fit the players into what he thinks is the best system, rather than like, I'll just put all the best players on the pitch. Like, that's what England have done for years, and we never really got anywhere.
But sorry, before I get on to you, Kaz, on your opinion, So we didn't really say nothing about Maddison, like, because, like, again, he's another one that he's had a weird season. Like, he has been good. Obviously, he's picked up a little injury, but like, what do you guys think? So, like, Ish, like, do you take him? Do you consider him?
I think he's got like bags of talent, but unfortunately for him, because his form dipped, and I think he got in a bit of trouble off the pitch, or I'm not sure. He hasn't. He could have had a better season. I think his stats is like 11 goals, 10 assists, which is bad. But I think from all that talent, all the other players, I think his name's probably comes last on the list, unfortunately for him. Yeah.
Kaz, what do you think with Maddison?
I think I agree with Ish, to be honest with you. He's don't get me wrong, he's a great player and he has got a lot of talent. But out of the 4 names that you've mentioned, he's probably bottom of the list.
Yeah. Like, in terms, like,
I don't think Southgate trusts him.
Okay, yeah. He's not had many caps.
Grealish as well, but Grealish, he's a great talent. But I just feel like he doesn't trust Maddison, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Lomi?
Yeah, I think he's just unlucky. Like, he's in an era where we've just had like 3 or 4 unbelievable number 10s or creative players come through at the same time. No doubt in him. Like, he is top class, Maddison. Like, no question about it. But like, he's competing with Grealish and Foden, and for me, they just slightly edge him. So he's just a bit unlucky.
Yeah. And Carl, like, what are you saying about Maddison? Like,
he's unlucky because the others just ate him up. Like, they just performed at the right time. Like, he got injured for part of the season, but some others just ate him up. It's just how the game is.
Yeah,
like,
it's harsh.
It's unfortunate, but the others are on such good form.
I know
that you can't. You have to kind of ignore him.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Kat, sorry about that. The system in terms of, do you bring a load of talent or a bit of both experience and talent? What do you think, like, for England?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it's in terms of the 4 players that we're talking about, you can't really mention experience with them because I don't think they have experienced major tournaments before. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I can't think of them experiencing major tournaments.
Yeah.
So maybe you get the experience in other departments on the pitch, like defense, goalkeeper, striker. In terms of the midfield or more so the attacking midfield, you're taking them based on talent because they don't have the experience. Out of the options that we have, they don't have it. But I just want to touch on one thing. Sorry, just going back. So the way I would put it in terms of the 4 that we're talking about, which one of them is gonna, if it's 85th minute, you need a goal to either get back in the game or to win the game. Which one of them is gonna do that for you? 85th, 90th minute, injury time. Which out of these 4 is gonna grab the ball by the horns and make the game his own? And I don't think Maddison's the guy. That's how I would describe it with Maddison. I don't think he's the guy to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. All 3 of them are definitely capable of doing it. So, like, go past a couple of players and just slot it or bend it, and then and then they just have that. They want to do it in those moments. Like, that's why they play in those positions. Like, so
One thing I'm gonna say. So we've mentioned you need a bit of experience, you need a bit of form, but when you say that, what about Lingard? Because Lingard's got both experience, and in terms of form since January, I think, in terms of stats anyway, he's definitely, he's had the better stats. So what do? Do you drop one of them and put Lingard in?
But listen, the thing is, you got now it's a 26-man squad, so
Yeah.
It's you take a bunch of them, and then obviously, like, Carl, what do you think?
I think I want to. It sounds thing. I want to overhaul going to. I want to go over the top on attackers on attacking midfields because you got it. But it depends on the system because I know it's 20-man 6 squad to a tournament, but you got to look what system we playing first of all. So what example if we're playing 3-5-2, how many defenders do you need? And if one gets injured, how many do you have who can switch position? I know what quality are the players that can come in. So that's I think that's a bigger problem than attackers because attackers we've got enough up there you can alternate if one gets injured.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think what Southgate likes to do is that the 3-5-2 3-4-3. So he's been doing that, and obviously recently he did where he had Rice, and then he had 2 in front of him.
Yeah.
So and then you have your wingers.
Yeah.
Because for
I
me,
think again, like, sorry to jump in, but then
that's all right.
again, I think like then it comes down to our opposition because I think if you're playing like a weaker team, like we got Scotland or whoever in the group, like then he can afford to like be a bit more attacking and drop Mount in to like the 8, leave like Rice or Henderson out, and then play Grealish, Foden, Sterling, Rashford, whoever.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing like a Spain or like someone where you're not going to have as much of the ball, then you need to like be a bit more defensively secure, play maybe Rice and Henderson and leave one of the attackers out. So I think it depends a little bit who you're playing as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because for me, I think because I actually remember saying about Lingard, ish, and you were like, no, this is that, but he's been if you base it on form, like you said, he's got to go.
Yeah,
he's got to go, and I think he's got to take him. And I think Maddison does miss out personally. Could maybe be on standby if they get an injury or whatnot. So, but I think we'll obviously go on to the other positions.
Yeah, I think because we spoke about attacking midfielders, I think from there, I think we should go on to wingers because depending on how many attacking midfielders you take, I think it will affect that position because you can also play one of the attacking midfielders on the wing.
Wow. Yeah.
So for the wingers, I think Sterling and Rashford are definitely going.
100%.
Yeah, because obviously they've got experience. They've scored at international level. There are Rashford is on form. Sterling not as much, but I think you definitely take him. And so that's 2. I think you would definitely take. The other options for me are Sancho, who's an amazing player but hasn't been playing lately. So he's injured. So that's the decision to take. Saka is another option. Obviously playing at a bad team but performing, probably the best player in his team.
But you know what? With Saka, sorry, he might be in the defenders list. Potentially.
Yeah. Which is really good. You could play him there, but you can also play him as a left back. So that's a plus for him. That's. I think the other 2 wingers that you might consider would be Greenwood and is it Harvey Barnes or Ashley Barnes? No, Harvey Barnes. What do you guys think?
Kaz, what do you think?
What for wingers?
Wingers,
First of all, you see in the last tournament, didn't he play Lingard as a winger?
Yeah.
I think it was Kane, Lingard, Sterling.
Those are the 2 up top, right?
Ali played as well.
Dele Alli.
Yeah, he played.
Oh,
he was in number 10 role then. He was behind him. Yeah. So Lingard was the striker. I think when it comes to Lingard, Southgate trusts him, and he does have the experience of the last tournament, and he also has the experience of playing under Gareth Southgate. So there's that connection there. So maybe Lingard gets the nod.
So would you take a link? Would you take Lingard or Sancho right now? If you had to make this decision right now, would you take Lingard or
Me
Sancho?
personally, I would take Sancho because I'm thinking further ahead. So I'm not just thinking about this tournament. I'm thinking for the next
But
tournament.
you need to win right now. It's not about next tournaments. You need to win right now. Lingard's on form. He's got experience.
But
Sancho, no
Sancho's got it, though. He's got it in the bag. No, I'll take Sancho. I take Sancho. I rate Sancho. He's a young guy, but he took it upon himself to go to a foreign country where he don't speak the first language. He left Man City, but he could have easily just sat there and just, maybe try to fill Foden thing. But he didn't see that it was going to happen. He took it upon himself to go to Dortmund, and he became one of the stars.
Yeah.
They're talking about 87 million for this youth. 87 million. Come on, man. He's done bits to get that price tag.
He's done well, but
this season it was over 100 million. They're talking about him. Look at his stats. Like, come on, man. I'll take Sancho.
I think it's a bit wild. Like, if you have to choose over Lingard over Sancho, obviously, for me, Sancho is a better player, but like you got.
Why are you picking Lingard? Well, first of all, are you picking Lingard over Sancho?
For me, I am, because the other players out wide, personally, for England would do better than him. That's me personally. Like,
would do better than you, Sancho.
Yeah. So
who's the other wingers?
So Rashford and Sterling, obviously they're there, but I'd rather put an attacking midfielder right now out wide than obviously the others. So Greenwood for me misses out.
Yeah, Greenwood.
Don't get me wrong, great talent. Harvey Barnes not yet, and plus he's missed a lot as well. But yeah, Lomi, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think like obviously Sterling and Rashford 100%. Like, and I think they're so important as well because the way Kane plays, Kane drops in like quite a lot to come and get on the ball. You need wingers that do run in behind. And like when you talk about like Grealish, Foden, they're all technical players. Like you need a Sterling or a Rashford who's going to make runs in behind Kane. So obviously them two are there 100%. I'd probably take Sancho over Lingard. Like not much in it. I could see why he'd take Lingard. He's like Ish says, he's like since January he's probably put up the best numbers in the league. He's on form. He's confident, but I'd probably still just shade it with Sancho. The other one, like with Saka as well, I get that like he could cover a few positions. So with the squad going to 26, like I'd probably look at him, and he's been impressive. Like he's probably been standout in Arsenal's team this year, like right wing or left back, whatever. I'd probably take him. The others just miss out. Greenwood's a bit unlucky as well because I think you need a goal. Like his natural finishing is up there with the best. So
it's a joke.
Probably just miss out. But yeah, Sterling, Rashford, and then probably Sancho, I reckon.
Yeah, because even in terms of numbers, Greenwood's got 10 goals, 6 assists, which isn't bad considering he hasn't played.
That's what I'm saying.
Too much. Sterling's got 13 goals, 11 assists. It's all right.
A good partnership with Kane though in the England setup.
Yeah.
They do well together. Yeah.
What about you, Carl? What do you think?
For me, if I want an out-and-out winger, I'm definitely taking Sancho ahead of Lingard. Because if I want to move an attacker out wide or anything, you put someone like Grealish out there because that guy, his pace and power and his flair, you'll think he's a winger. So
100%.
Obviously, Rashford normal always like performs well for England. Sterling does well as well for England, so they're already there. Like that's straight. But it's a hard one for Lingard because he's on great form. Like the form, no one could have predicted this form, not even him. Like, you can't convince me. You can't convince me. Like, but it's just the others have been so consistent. So it's like I think it's hard for him. So I wouldn't want to bring him in and then play him out wide because you know when we play someone out wide, he's not out winger. They always just cut inside.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's the same.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because obviously he's got a decision to make, Southgate. But boy, like there'll be the thing is because it's 26. it's I don't know. It's in my head. It seems like there's loads, so they might all go. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but they might all go. But
When you do the list, the numbers go quick, man. Trust me.
I'm telling you, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I think
Because yeah,
Saka should definitely go just for the pure fact that
I think he will. I think.
he covers a lot of
I think he
positions.
will. He
You
might.
know, he's an intelligent player as well.
So obviously, number one up top is
Kane.
Harry Kane. I think
Yeah.
he'll start most games.
Mm.
But you know, if you take one or another striker or another two strikers, who'd you go for? Obviously, the performers this season is Calvert-Lewin, Watkins. They're the top two after Kane.
No
But
Ings.
yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
my guy.
Ings,
Danny Ings. That's my guy.
obviously he's had a few injuries. He's come in, come out, like little niggles there, here and there, but he's performed. He's performed. He's got double figures this season. And I think if you look at all the strikers, so Kane, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, I think I put Abraham and Wilson. They're all sort of big, sort of similar type of strikers. With Danny Ings, he gives you something different. So for me, even though he hasn't got the numbers Watkins and the others have, I think you take him. You take him just because
100%.
he's just so sharp. He's alert. Like he can get you that little goal that you need in the last 5 minutes. So for me, I would take Ings.
See when Southgate tried to do it with Vardy, England, or sorry, Hodgson, yeah, with Vardy taking him last 20, try and play him behind.
Yeah.
The thing is, international football is different, so you don't really get to see unless he starts. I think coming off is a bit different. So I think Danny Ings has got quality. Like if he gets the ball, like you said, sharp. He can finish, even foot, and do you know what? In the play, I think he's very good, and for me, he's better than the rest, other than Kane. So yeah, for me as well, he goes 100%. And
What do you think? Who'd you take?
I think Ings, yeah.
Yeah, Ings as well.
Yeah, because he's a workhorse, man. He's got the press on point, and he's capable of winning the balls, capable of a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
But he's always gonna be second choice to Kane. That's no doubt.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, if you think like Lomi mentioned earlier, in the last tournament, most of England's goals came from set pieces. You know, obviously they rely a lot on crosses in the box. So what do you think of Calvert-Lewin? Because obviously this season he scored a lot of headed goals. He's a fighter. He gets those scrappy goals. So what do you think? Like,
Lomi.
Maybe head of Ings, maybe.
I think it's a tough one. They bring different things, don't they? Like you say, Ings. I think we're all in agreement. Like Ings is like so good. Like every time you watch him, just in his play and like the goals he gets for Southampton, like as long as he's fit, he'd be in my list. But then on the other hand, Calvert-Lewin, if you're thinking last 10, 15 minutes of a game, you need a goal and you need to sling some crosses in the box. Like he's going to be the option because he's an absolute beast in the air. He's been so good this season, and like even like his technical playing stuff still good. Like he's in the frame 100%. If there's room for like both of them, I'd probably take both of them. But if there's probably one, I'd probably just go Calvert-Lewin just because he like I say, if you need a goal, last 10, I'd probably put him on like just to kind of try and get you a goal if you're going a bit more direct. Ings is a bit similar to Kane in that aspect, so I'd probably go DCL.
Yeah.
Carl.
It's tight because I think it's close, very, very close. I like Calvert-Lewin. He surprised me a lot. Like, his game is coming a lot. He's winning headers. He's technical. He's finishing. He's one-touch finishing in the box. Everything's come a long way. But again, I said Ings at the start. but it just depends how you set up. Because if we set up, for example, you have Trent and Shaw, then you might want to go more Calvert-Lewin because you're going to put more crosses in the box.
Yeah.
So it just depends how you set up. But either way, if there's a way to fit both in the squad,
yeah,
I think it's two great assets to have.
Yeah.
Watkins too short for everyone.
I like Watkins. He's had a great season. He's done unbelievable, but they're just ahead. They're just really ahead.
Yeah, I think he'll do you know what? He'll be on the standby list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be standby.
What about Bamford? Bamford don't get no shout, no?
Oh yeah.
Same bracket for me.
Yeah.
As Watkins on the
Bamford.
You know what? After hearing Andy and Carl, Andy talking about last 10-15 minutes, and then Carl talking about if you've got Trent and Sean about crosses, I think when they put it like that, I think maybe I'd pick Calvert-Lewin over Ings, just based on what they said, you know.
To be fair, you forgot what's his name, Andy Carroll as well.
Stop.
For a reason.
But do you remember? No, for years it was him though. For years,
he was
that dark horse.
You know what about to come on my screen, boy? Oh my god! I think
next thing you're gonna say is Heskey, bruv. Come on.
He was.
They always have that. To be fair, every tournament they always have that type of striker. Heskey, Crouch, Carroll.
Yeah.
There you go. There's Calvert-Lewin then.
Yeah, that's our type. In that bracket.
Okay. Should we move on to centre backs? So at the back, for me, Maguire, 100%.
Yeah, he's a beast.
1,000%. He's got an unbelievable stat. He's played every single minute in the Premier League. That's crazy. Unreal. That's unreal. People laugh at him a lot, but I think he's been unreal for Man United.
Yeah.
Obviously he came in for 80-odd million, which is a lot of money for a centre-back. But for me, he's been unreal. He's rarely made a mistake. He's just solid. And
the thing is with Maguire, like I think he's a joke. But one thing that obviously that people would pinpoint is that how slow he is.
Yeah.
But I think that usually, obviously, England, if they play three at the back, they might tend to cover him. Obviously, if it's Stones, and I don't know, could be the other one. Walker obviously as well. But Maguire, 100%. He goes. Yeah. Technically, he's good. He goes out obviously on a few runs as well. And obviously in the air, he's a beast. He's a monster. So that's a no-brainer. What do you think, Carl?
See, the thing is for me, I think he gets a lot of harsh criticism, Maguire. Because when he makes an error or something, everyone's out for him. It's like they're waiting for him to make an error so they can say, see, I told you. So, but I think overall, if you take away the price tag, I think he's done well for Man United. They look a lot more solid at the back. So obviously he's there. He's there. I'll put Stones in there as well. I'm not a great fan of Walker in the centre back role. I just feel like if someone's gonna make a mistake or an error, it's gonna be him because he's gonna be a bit more clumsy or he's gonna rely on his pace to bail him out. Even though his pace helps Maguire, I just feel like he's a bit of a liability in that centre back role.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm not taking Dyer centre back. We're really not doing that. We're just not doing that. We're not doing that. It's too big of an occasion to have people, and that's why I wouldn't want Walker there. It's too much of a big occasion to have people who aren't actual defenders to defend.
I think Stones, Maguire are definitely going. Yeah. Who else do you take? Mings?
Yeah.
He's a weird one, man. Like
He's a warrior.
but
He's a
the
warrior.
thing,
It's
the
weird.
good thing is he's left-footed. I think a left-footed centre back. I don't know. It gives you that bit of
If you
balance.
do 3 at the back, then he would
That's
be
it. That's
the
it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. There's something about him. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
it's a weird one. Like I think he's strong.
Yeah.
He's not slow. He's got a good left foot. He wins every header. But there's something about him. I can't.
You know what it is? He's got a mistake in him. That's what it is. He has a mistake.
Has he really made that many mistakes? I don't know. Like from the top of my head, I can't think of many mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, he's made a couple this season. But if you're playing 3 at the back, I will play him, LCB, Maguire in the middle, John Stones, RCB.
Yeah. What about you, Lomi?
Yeah, I think like Maguire and Stones obviously the standout too. I think we'd probably all say their first choice. Like Maguire, he got a bit of bad press at the time. Every time he does make a mistake, which is rare, people seem to jump on him because he cost 80 million. But I think he's been very good. Like definitely first choice centre back for England. Stones this year has been brilliant. Again, susceptible to an error, but in terms of like the centre backs that England have got to choose from, they're head and shoulders the two. The others, like I would probably take Mings third choice, like I say, because he's left-footed. That does give you a bit of balance. The rest, like Dyer, Cody, like do you know what I mean? They're much of a muchness. I don't think none of them are world class. They're all fine. They'll do a job. Michael Keane in the same bracket, decent centre back, but he's not like Van Dijk or De Ligt, is he? Like for Holland, right? So I think Maguire and Stones first choice. Take Mings as third choice for left-hand centre half, and then one of the others, like Cody maybe or Keane as fourth choice.
Yeah.
Tomori?
What is he doing? Is he playing well over there?
You know what? He's actually doing all right. I think AC want to buy him permanently. Like, but I come too soon. I think he'll be about. Like, I think him going to Italy, like learning about the game tactically, because obviously he's defensive minded. That'll do him a lot of good. I think in the future for sure, 100%.
The only other one that I think like I've been impressed with is that Ben Godfrey at Everton, and like
he's not bad.
He's played a lot of positions. They play him like right back, left back, centre back. Obviously, they paid a bit of money for him for Norwich. He's still only young, but he's one that I think is probably on the radar. Maybe this tournament comes too soon, but definitely for the next tournament, he's one that could come through.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually. Yeah. There's one that everyone keeps talking about is the Brighton one. What do you lot think of him? Like, I know it's obviously won't be near it, but do you think he'll be sort of one to come through, or is that a shout? Like,
as a nation, I find it crazy that if we say we're the home of football, we don't have you can't look and say we've got 3 world-class centre backs. We've got 2 world-class centre mids. Like, it's crazy when you actually break it down. No, seriously, like when you actually think about it, like you look at it, we've got 2 centre backs. You say they're gonna go, but the third one you're thinking like it's harsh. Then you're gonna maybe worse because they're safe. They'll probably slot Kyle Walker in there, and then you're like you got a right back at centre back in a big tournament, and for me it just doesn't. I don't like it.
If Joe Gomez was fit, it probably would have been Joe Gomez. Obviously with the injury that he had, he's not going to make it.
Nah.
If he was, that's probably who it would have been.
Okay. So another position that's been talked about a lot as well, I think, is the right back position, because there's a few very decent players at that position. For me, I don't know what you guys think, and I don't know, man. You might think I'm a bit crazy, but for me, the best right back this season has been Wan-Bissaka. For me, he's just solid. He's just solid nonsense, and like I think he came up against was it Neymar and Mbappe, pocketed them.
You don't go past him.
Yeah, you just can't go past him. Like, I think when he first started at Man United, his passing was a bit off. His crossing is still a bit off. But I don't know. Like, having Wan-Bissaka as a right back, I just feel secure. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, obviously I don't think he's been capped yet. So I think for that factor, he probably won't go. But for me, Wan-Bissaka is probably one of the strongest right backs England's got. So what do you
For me, I just put it like, okay, let's say England make semi-finals. They're playing against France. Like Mbappe, or let's say Ousmane Dembele or something. They play on the left. Like, you want a defender. You might want wing backs if they play wing backs, or your right back, full backs to go and push and stuff. But just leave that to the forwards. Like, defend, and he's good enough to obviously go a bit forward and stuff. But yeah, for me, I think he's one. I don't know how he's not got as many caps, because Kaz, I'm sorry, but your guy Trent, unbelievable technique, but he needs to allow it.
You see when Trent got dropped for the last friendlies,
yeah.
All this talk, how could Southgate do that? Well, I understood it.
Yeah.
As a Liverpool fan, I'm saying that I understood why he dropped Trent. Trent, he was going through a period where he's on bad form, confidence was low, and he wasn't performing that well. You get me? And then also, it's been known for a couple of seasons that he's not the best defender. He's good going forward, but he's not the best at defending. Now, obviously, there's time to improve that. He's still young, but when you just said just now, if you're going up against Mbappe or Ousmane Dembele, if you're playing France and they're on the left wing, who do you want? I will pick Kyle Walker. Because look what Kyle Walker did to them PSG for Man City. He had them, and Kyle Walker, he gives you good options going forward as well. So
and the experience that we mentioned earlier.
And also, even though maybe it's not his best position, but there is a little bit of versatility there. If you play 4 at the back, he's your right back. If you play 3 at the back, he's possibly the right centre back. You get 2 positions out of him. Do you get what I mean?
So
I'll pick Kyle Walker first, and then when it comes to another choice, out of loyalty, I'm gonna say Trent. But that might just be my heart talking. You got Reece James, honestly, I'm just being real. That's probably I'm trying to be loyal, but I don't know. There may be better options, but Trent technically is very good. He gives you excellent crosses. Dead ball situation, probably he's that you'd want over the ball.
I think in general, going to a tournament, you pick 2 right backs. So it would be Walker, and who would be so Trent would be your second option, right?
I'm still undecided on my second choice. I'm still undecided. Walker would be my first choice. I think he's had a great season, and I think he gives you the experience of playing in a major tournament and also playing under Gareth Southgate. So first choice.
Lomi, what about you?
I want to hear from the wingers, like Carl, Joe. Come on, who would you least want to play against? When you say Wan-Bissaka and Walker, you ain't getting past them.
The thing is, Carl Walker, to play against him, you have to try outsmart him. You can't go past him. It's impossible. Him, he's a fridge. But then Reece James, he's a fridge as well, because you can't really. Reece James doesn't get beat as well. So I'd rather play against Trent. Remember, Carl? Remember what you said? I can't remember which winger you said. He goes, he played like someone cussed his mum. What is it? Pulisic, just direct onto Trent. So you take your Walker. I think it's between Walker, James, and Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, I know I doubt Wan-Bissaka will go. So I think Walker, James will go. Trent, obviously, So
Like, no one's mentioned Trippier. You know, he scored in the World Cup semi-final.
Southgate likes him as well. Like every squad, he puts Trippier in there. So I don't know. It's a tough one. I think like probably none of us would take Trippier just because like the options we got at right back are ridiculous. Like when you go through the list of names, like even getting down to like Lamptey, every time I watch Lamptey this season, he's been an absolute joke. But I think I'd probably opt for like Walker and Wan-Bissaka like are the best defensively. Trent gives you something that no one else gives you. His talent, like his passing, his crossing, absolutely ridiculous. So I'd take Trent and one of the others, probably Walker, but it's hard to choose. Like Reece James is as good as anyone else. Like it's so hard to pick.
What about you, Cole? Who do you take?
So everyone's with Walker, but I think Walker's clumsy, man. I really do think he's clumsy. And the reason why I think he's clumsy is when you actually watch his gameplay and look at his defender, he relies solely on his pace.
I disagree, because I think technically he's got better. I think
he's got a lot better technically. He got a lot better technically. He actually has. He really has. Since he's come to Man City, he's upgraded a lot. I think when I watch him, he relies a lot. He bases a lot. I'm not gonna he's starting. Like I think he's starting. I'm not gonna. But for me, I just think he's just clumsy because he relies too much on his pace.
But you know what? I just thought about it. Imagine playing for City, right? For 90% of the game, you're attacking. You're literally a right winger 90% of the game. So you don't actually get to defend that much. So it's hard. Like it's almost like a goalkeeper when you don't have to do much, and then all of a sudden you have to do something. You might not be.
No, that's an excuse, bro. You have to have 100% concentration and focus at all times. Look at you mentioned goalkeepers. Yeah, they stand there. Edison might stand there for the whole game. All of a sudden, a chance comes along. If they score it, you'll be vexed. Come on. Sorry, Rich, I'm not having that.
So Wan-Bissaka, 1-for-1, he's eating up most wingers. I'm not gonna lie, 99% of wingers he's eating up. But if you're trying to play wing backs, he doesn't offer enough to fill that wing back role. If you're playing, for me, if he's coming against elite wingers in the tournament, I'm not gonna lie, he's my first pick. If he's coming against elite wingers, but I think what? Pardon?
Wan-Bissaka, you're saying, yeah?
If he's coming against elite wingers, I'm picking him first choice. But the thing is, the others offer a lot more balance to the team. That's why they'll always be there ahead of him. So for me, I like Reece James a lot, to be fair. I like Reece James. But I just feel like he's going to fall out. I don't feel like he will be in the picture. I feel like it'll be a Trent and a Walker. With maybe, I don't know, Trippier might just sneak in. You might just see him with a tracksuit. You might just see him on a plane. He might not be listed, but just be on a plane. The next you know, he's starting. Like, you never know. So, but I think the main two will be like that. I think it'll be Trent. Because joint fingers with Trent. And I think Trent will play a lot more than people surprised. People will be surprised because when he can offer that much going forward, they'll look at him like, if I put Walker right side behind him, he can cover him. That's how they'll do the maths like that. So I generally believe Trent, when someone who's got that much ability with the ball to cross it, especially when you've got Kane, who's such a great finisher, it would be a bit silly not to try and utilize that.
Nah, 100%.
Okay. At left back, I think there's only two. There's only two.
Easy to pick itself.
So, who do you think's better? Shaw or Chilwell?
Me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm putting my bias aside. I think Luke Shaw, man. I think I think he's a joke. Like I think he's been consistent. Every time he's played, he's been the same. And obviously he'll pick up an injury. So then people obviously say, "Oh, but it's because he's unfit." He's not even unfit. That's just how he's built. Like he's a train. Like you got fridges and trains, but he's a train, man. Like honestly, I'm like, man.
Nah, he looks strong this season, sure. Shaw looks strong this season. Like he's been
He
doing
does.
training.
Yeah.
And
And
he's
but then
been
don't get me
more
wrong. I think Chilwell, like obviously under Lampard, obviously when he first came, he scored a few goals. Then I don't know, he went on like he was a bit like too relaxed. Then I think Tuchel coming in and putting Alonso sort of shook him a bit, and then I think that now he's come along like, and he's done well. But yeah, no doubt, obviously another quality left back, but no doubt, yeah, Shaw's probably better to just, I'd say. But yeah, like
Lonely as a fellow left back.
in there.
Oh, I'd probably just go for Shaw. But again, like not much in it. I just think Shaw's been outstanding. Like the way he's bounced back from like under Mourinho, wasn't even in the squad, like playing 23s, whatever he was playing.
Yeah.
This year, like even if you look at the stats, like in terms of his chances created and all that stuff, he's the top of the list. So
Yeah.
I'd probably just go Shaw, but again, not much in it. They're both so good.
Yeah.
What about you, Kaz?
Yeah, Shaw gets first pick for me.
Yeah.
I think
I hate to say it as well because he plays for United, but he's been amazing. Like when Liverpool played United, he had Salah in his pocket the whole game. Salah, it got to the point where Salah stopped trying to take him on.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's been good this season. He's been consistent and he looks strong. And I think he just gives you that little bit more going forward than Ben Chilwell. But easy, those are the 1 and 2.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, keepers, I have no interest. Like,
You know what? We've been planning on doing keepers.
nah, but we're going on to the next thing. Obviously, what's next for Tottenham? Like, Lomi, you've got your kit.
Come on.
Chat to me.
Like this is a big decision for Spurs. Like, and there's a lot of similarities to actually the way Arsenal at the moment. Like Spurs, their next manager is massive. Like we've got to get it right. I think like we tried it with Mourinho. We tried out of desperation to just like get him, hopefully win us a trophy. Don't care how we play or whatever happens, just try and win a trophy because it's been so long since we've had any success. We kind of just went against everything, thought, right, we'll get Mourinho, hopefully he'll win us something. Didn't work out. I think Spurs have just got to go back to like basics, think about what we're good at, like develop a young attacking team, like bring through some youth again and pick a manager and we're never going to have the money to spend either. Like we can't compete with City, even like Chelsea, United. We can't compete with those clubs in terms of like the money to attract the players. We're not going to pay 100 million for players, so we need to operate in a different way. I think we need to look at like a young manager who's going to come in, build a team from the bottom, bring through some of the youth, and like there's not many names out there. Like everyone's saying, like maybe go for an experienced one like Allegri or something like that. But I think they should just go for a younger manager, like similar to what Pochettino did when he first come in. Go for a young manager that's going to get us playing good football again, build the team. And again, it depends on what happens with Kane as well. Because if Kane goes, like I don't care who comes in, like we're struggling. You can't replace him.
Can I ask you this, Lomi? So you've built a massive stadium, like probably one of the best in the world. I'm not even exaggerating because from what other fans have said, it's unreal. What was that for them? Like, is it?
Well, I think the reason they built that was I think a lot of the reason they built that was obviously it doubled the capacity of the ground. So they were thinking obviously more revenue. And then hopefully they'll spend that on players. And to be fair, like we spent like 60 million on Ndombele, like there was Lascelles, there was like 40 million, Davinson Sanchez was like 40 million. So we have spent money, like, but it's a tough one. If you lose Kane and maybe Son, like you're starting from scratch again. Like, how do you replace them players? You can't.
That is actually crazy.
To be fair, you get a good 150 million from that. So like obviously the players you bring in have to be good. They have to. Yeah, you can't.
No. To be fair, we did that when the first time when Bale went, we got like 80 million. We just went and spunked all the money on like 7, 8 players, and they were all shit. Like apart from Ericsson, who was all right. It was like Frazzy, it was like Chiriches, like Chadley, like Lamella was in it, but it was just like
I think Sigurdsson. I think it was Sigurdsson.
Yeah, boy. Like thing, I don't know, because it's a this summer loan me, man, every day. See, when the season's done, and after like Euro games, you need to look at transfer news, because boy, that's gonna be mad. Like,
it's interesting to see, like, what do you guys think? Who would you think would fit that Spurs job? Like, looking at the names, there's no one really that jumps out to me, like, off the page.
I want to mention that I think, confirm if it's right, the Ajax manager got offered it, and Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
And they both said no.
Yeah.
So.
And Nagelsmann went Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So. Do you go like I saw Scott Parker? Do you go for him because he's done well for Fulham?
Yeah,
good football, and obviously he'll be getting better players. Like, and I think in terms of what he'll bring to the table, maybe the players think, okay, actually, I could go with that, and then maybe I can't think of anyone else, if I'm honest. Like, you might have to then go maybe experience, because. You know, just so that I don't know, like you said, do you start again, or do you sort of try, because it wasn't that long you were in the final, like.
I know. I think there's a few people mentioning that Potter as well at Brighton, it's a bit of a like rogue shout, because like they're not doing very well. But everyone's saying, he's got them playing good football, like he's brings through youth and that. So I don't know.
It's mad because you think, like, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? You were in the Champions League, your players were like world class, your manager was doing so well, and now you're talking about Potter, like.
Football's so mad. Oh my god.
We just basically had a shocker. We've had a shocker, like absolute shocker. I don't know why we've done that, but we're looking around now.
At the moment, it's Ryan Mason as well.
Yeah.
Say that again.
At the moment, it's Ryan Mason as well. Like like it's just crazy. It's like, this is no disrespect to obviously, but it's the thing is, like, he's an ex-player, like, and he just recently. Obviously, unfortunately for him, like, had to retire. But obviously, I don't think they'll consider him. But it's crazy. Like, Carl, what do you think of Tottenham's situation?
The funny thing is, they're trying to ball on a budget, and it's like they've never tasted success, and that's factual. So no, it's the truth. They haven't tasted success.
Nah, the thing is. I caught you. Sorry. There's one game they did, the Worthington Cup. Against us. So I was annoyed. And the replay with Woodgate, when the ball hit his face, and then his face went, nah. So they did, but obviously.
You can't have success though. Like,
it's a cup.
Okay, let me take that back. They haven't tasted success.
Lomi might crunch you if he plays against you next season with that
comment. Did you celebrate when you won that cup?
Mate, I was there, mate. I was buzzing. I hit Woodgate in the face, innit? I was like, yes, come on. We got battered the whole game.
Yeah, sorry, Carl.
I think it's treated too much as a business, and they're always trying to cut corners and save costs, and it's not a bad thing, but it's only a good thing if you can get success with it, and they haven't managed success. So I generally think Harry Kane's staying. I don't think he's going.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say I think he's staying, because any elite striker would have gone already. Any elite striker that wants to win something in his career would have left. Like, no elite striker would have stuck at a team that long at his age if they wanted to win stuff. Like, there's no way.
I think Kane's situation's a bit different, because obviously he came through. And then he obviously had a few loans. He didn't hit it straight away. Like, I know it was a bit slow. Then obviously he had a sort of. I think he started playing when Soldado was there, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously he just couldn't stop scoring. Then there were still questions after that season. So for him, I don't know, because it's different for him and Rooney. Rooney was from 18, he was already like, I'm the man. But Kane was a little bit like in his
I get
early
that.
20s, like.
I do get that, but after 2 seasons of scoring, let's just say 20 plus goals, you're gonna look and analyze your squad. You're gonna say, do I actually believe we can compete with Man City? Do I actually believe we can compete with Man United? You gotta look at it honestly. You know the answer is no.
But then they made
Listen, Kyle Walker left,
final.
and Kyle Walker left and showed them. Listen, basically, when you leave, you get a Premier League, and you know we might get a Champions League. That's the difference. When you get certain chances, and top elite players who are ruthless, all you want is trophies. You don't want to be like you don't want to be at a team that I said it to you before. Look at the England squad. All of the top players that you're talking about in the England squad have won something. Like he's a senior member of the team and he hasn't won anything. It's crazy.
Yeah, the conversations on the table is mad. Like,
it's crazy.
Like, yeah, we went out because we won. This is that.
I'm telling you, but it's Daniel Levy. This is Daniel Levy is a shrewd businessman. Yeah, he makes life very difficult, and he's very good at it. Let's not beat around the bush. He's very good at it. Yeah, so for Kane to leave is very difficult, but deep down in his heart, he wants to go. Because exactly what Carl said. You look around. I don't see world beaters. I don't see a world-class team. I don't see a team that's going to compete with the likes of City, with the likes of Chelsea, United, Liverpool. I don't see it. You see what I'm saying? So he wants to go, man. He wants to. Sorry to say, Andy, but he wants to go, man.
No. Listen,
I think the best thing for his career would be to leave Tottenham.
I agree, mate. I think, like, looking at us now, we're so far away from the top teams. Like, this year is... Before, like the last 2 or 3 years, and especially under Poch, we actually had a good team. He was probably looking at it thinking, we could win something here. There was one time we finished second, like we never quite got over the line for whatever reason. He was probably thinking, yeah, we could maybe win something with this team. Now he's looking around, he's seeing some of the players. And if I was in his shoes, and I think most Spurs fans would say the same, it's time for him to go. Like, go and fill your boots, go City. Go somewhere else, win guaranteed trophies. I think he deserves it.
Would you say it's the same for Son, though, Lomi?
Yeah, similar situation. Like, he's probably one that I don't know why he doesn't get linked with more teams, because he's so good. Like, he could go and play for any team in the world. Versatility as well, like through the middle, left, right. He's just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's probably in the same situation. Like, I don't think any Spurs fan would say, like, hold it against him if he said, look, I want to leave, because we're so bad at the moment.
Would you be pissed if he came to Arsenal?
Yeah, he can't go to Arsenal, mate. He can't go to Arsenal or Chelsea, that's it.
The thing is, like, okay, like with Kane, Kane coming Chelsea, I'll take him any day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, Werner, you're my guy, but still, man, like, Kane, nah, the guy's too good. But yeah, the thing is, I don't know what. Like, I think in recent years there's that rivalry. There's been a bit of a rivalry now, but yeah, I think he's got to go. But if he goes to City or United, do you guys boo him? Like,
nah, I don't think we'll ever boo him. Like, I think United maybe, because they're not winning trophies either at the moment. Like, so if you're gonna go somewhere that's like, you know, City, and to be fair, Chelsea, like, they're guaranteed trophies. City is guaranteed trophies. If you go there, no one's gonna hold it against him. If you went United, you might be like, well, they're not really like, are they that much better than Spurs? Like, I don't know. They are.
Let me just jump in. Sorry, yeah, you say that, right? But the difference between United and Tottenham is that United are making genuine attempts to build a squad to compete with City and win trophies. Tottenham aren't doing that.
Yeah.
United signed Fernandes, world-class player. Pogba, I know a lot of people have opinions about Pogba, but facts is facts. He's a world-class player.
Wait. Kaz, I've got to stop you there. Fernandes world class.
Who?
Fernandes.
Bruno, his stats speak for themselves, bro. He's up there
But
with De
world class
Bruyne in
is
terms of stats. I'll pick De Bruyne over him, but in terms of stats, his numbers, the numbers don't lie. You see what I'm saying? They don't lie.
World class is a shout. It
depends on his definition of world class. For me, if I call someone world class, definitely a winner.
Okay, you know what? That's another topic here. But what I was saying is
topic. You'll be there, Kaz.
Huh?
You'll be there.
Again?
It's another topic that you'll be there, because
I'll be there, yeah, inshallah, I'll be there, bro. But listen, here's what I'm saying, yeah. Like what I was saying before, is that the difference is that United are making genuine attempts to build a team to compete and win trophies, whereas Tottenham aren't doing that. So, and then if you got, whether you want to class Fernandes as world class or not, he's a great player. Unless it's
no doubt.
If you got Fernandes, Pogba, and then you add Kane to that, you got Rashford there as well. You got Mason Greenwood on the come up.
Barney, back up.
You see what I'm saying? Then you can see this team actually competing for trophies. And then look, United this season without the likes of Harry Kane, they're in the Europa League final against Villarreal, guaranteed. I reckon they're gonna win.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting, man.
And then another thing. Sorry. Just while I'm got the time to talk here. In terms of management, in terms of a young manager, there's not a lot of options out there anymore. They got taken basically. Ter Stegen said no. He signed a new deal with Ajax, I think it is. Or is it Ter Stegen or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Ten Hag.
Ten Hag. That's it. Maybe I think
I'm sure he's a goalkeeper.
I know. You're right. Anyway, but what I think here is that they went for Mourinho because they went with someone who has experience winning things. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the wrong thing to do. I don't think Mourinho was the right guy. Maybe Benitez is a shot. Rafa Benitez.
Oh yeah. Blow me.
It's just like, again, he's similar in Mourinho. He's proven, and like, he in terms of experience and winning trophies, he's been there and done it. But do I want to watch that football week in, week out? Like, is he the guy that's going to excite me?
So
I mean, you're used to it already.
So if you had won the League Cup and you didn't sack Mourinho and you won the League Cup, would you still have that opinion now that the football's ugly but you won something? Would you be happy or not?
That's not like, but my sole thing as a fan is not just like the League Cup. Yeah, it's good winning the League Cup, but that's not like everything I want from Spurs. I want to enjoy watching my team, like going to the games, like watching them play good football. Like that's important to me as well.
Of course, I get that.
You know, like, if we got Benitez and won the League Cup, would I be that happy? Yeah, it'd be good. Like, but who remembers who wins the League Cup? Like, does anyone remember that? Like,
no, but it's a start. It's a starting place.
It's a start, man. Because when we first started winning, Kesman scored in that. Boy, I'll take that.
Between Tottenham and Arsenal, I don't know who's more in trouble, boy.
It's Tottenham because we could get a young FA Cup here and there. You know what I mean?
But so obviously now we're going to you, Kaz. Obviously, you're going to be the main focus, but then obviously hear from other people, and of an era for Liverpool's front three, because this season it's been a bit difficult for.
You're jumping on the bandwagon as well, yeah?
Nah, but listen.
Man, they're still young. They're still below 30. They just need competition. That's all it is.
I've got the stats here, so I'll go
this season.
One thing I've got a question.
Hold on. How come you got stats for Liverpool? You know, no stats for Arsenal. Is there an issue here?
Listen, I need now.
We don't put no stats out, but when it comes to my front three, I've got the stats.
Nah, listen. The thing is,
bro, don't worry.
I'll start off with by saying obviously the front three is amazing. It's been amazing, and it's lasted a long time. But this year, obviously, I think Mane and Firmino more than Salah have been a bit off it a little bit, because Salah's still producing like the numbers and stuff. But let me ask you a question now. So I know Firmino's not a out-and-out striker, but obviously sometimes I feel fans would look at the shirt. He's number 9 and he's playing up top. Team sheet, you see Firmino's name. So I'll read you his stats and tell me if you're happy for him. So in obviously this season, he's got 6 goals in 34 games.
Okay.
With 7 assists. Then last year he got 12 in 43 games and 12 assists. Season before that, 16 and 39 with 7 assists. But obviously, now 4 years ago was his best numbers. He had 27 in 49 and 17 assists. So over the last 4 years, as someone that's leading your line, are you happy with that?
Firmino gives you so much more, bro. The link-up play,
100%.
Taking players out of position to create the space for the likes of Salah and Mane to come in. He gives you so much more. But if you want to look at it just from a numbers point of view, then of course I can't argue with you with those numbers. But he's got the potential. If you're saying 4 years ago he got those numbers, he can easily get them again.
Okay. Carl, I know with Firmino, we've had conversations that if it was another, I think manager or something, he would have been, or another team.
If it wasn't for Mane and Salah, he'll be unemployed, because they're carrying him. They're carrying him. They're carrying him.
Are you an Arsenal fan?
Yeah. Listen, I don't. If you want to talk about strikers, we can talk about strikers, because mine will be unemployed as well. It's fine, trust me.
Cool.
But there's no one even saving. There's no one saving them. There's no winger to save them at Arsenal, so they're getting exposed. Like really, truly, I don't know what Salah's meal prep is or what he does before the games, but the guy can't stop scoring. I don't know what he does. I'm not gonna lie. He needs to drop a little something. I'll even buy the plan, because it's ridiculous. He had a period of games when I think about 6-7 games he didn't score, and then everyone was saying Salah this, Salah that. I'll never go.
Yeah,
like it's not normal. Like, and then for example, like Mane, again, he's not scoring as much as he did in the previous seasons. But what everyone's got to look at and think, and I know I gave Firmino a bit of stick. Those three, for the last 3 years, they've been very consistent. And I don't base games just on stats. I'm not. Even though I was getting on Firmino.
Okay.
Like,
that's good.
You got to look at what they've done. It's not normal. Like those three, literally, there's not really a backup for them, and they just consistently performed. Like there's gonna be a down period after a while. So now, now Salah's a bit on a down period. You can say maybe performances, even though he's still scoring, and you can say Firmino is not scoring, and Mane is not really either. It's bound to happen. Like, but then, for example, when Jota came in, and he was scoring, you're thinking, where did he get him from? Like, he's not this prolific. So again, it's just a matter of time. I think Liverpool's been a bit unlucky with injuries.
If you want to do the number thing, sorry, Carl, going back to John.
Go.
If you want to do the numbers thing, if you look at Salah's numbers from his first season at Liverpool, even they've gone down. Yeah, they have
gone down. But the thing is, for me, he's a pure winger.
You brought out numbers. I'm saying if you want to look at it from a numbers point of view, even his numbers have gone down. But he's still scoring.
But what I'm saying is, like, I can accept Salah's numbers going down, because for me, his numbers are still crazy. Like,
we got to remember,
down as a winger to get those goals. Listen, that's the reason why I'm not a pro. Listen, I can't score goals. They've elevated the standard.
The bracket for wingers is ridiculous because
It's crazy.
people are saying you could score 10 goals and people are questioning if you had a good season. Like, it's crazy.
Lomi, I want to ask you, as a fullback, who would you rather play against, Salah or Mane?
Oh, do you know what? I wouldn't fancy either of them. Like, they're both an absolute joke. Like, Mane is so sharp and that his movement, his runs, just ridiculous. Salah, again, like a few years ago, I was looking at him thinking, this geezer, he ain't got it. And then, like, watch him now. Like I say, goal every game, goal. Like inside the box, shoot him his left peg, goal. Just ridiculous. The numbers he's put up are absolutely insane. I didn't think he could do it, to be fair.
Yeah. And do you think they should sign? Obviously, they've got Jota as a backup. Do you think I say backup, he can start as well. Do you think they should sign another striker? Because I know they were linked with Werner before. And then obviously,
you know what? I'm like going back to what Kaz said at the start, like, Firmino gets a lot of criticism because his numbers, they say, he's a number 9 for Liverpool. He should be scoring 20 plus, but he brings so much other stuff to that team. Like I say, he's so clever dropping into the pockets. I don't think Salah and Mane would score anywhere near the amount of goals they scored without him. So it's very easy to say, if you dropped Haaland or someone into that team, they'll score like more goals. But as a team, as a front three, would they like? Because if you're putting someone in there who's not going to be as unselfish with his runs, then Salah and Mane might not score as many goals. So I think you've got to look at them three as a unit. Firmino suits the other two perfect. Like, you got to think they were in the team where they won everything: Champions League, Club World Cup, Premier League. They were literally winning game after game. They won nearly every game all season, and people still coming out criticizing Firmino, saying, he didn't score enough goals. Like, two wingers got
But Ish, as a striker, like, what do you like in terms of Firmino? Like, firstly,
I mean, you got to look at it as a whole. I 100% agree with what Lomi said. It's a full package, like it's an attacking package. But the thing is, my worry is when I compare the last 4 years, and those three have been unbelievable. There's something wrong. There's something wrong going on up top. It's almost like, I don't know. The connection's not the same. There's more arguing between the not so much Firmino, but between Salah and Mane. There's a lot of arguing. Yeah. It's almost like they're avoiding each other. They're not passing to each other. So I don't know if there's something going on off the field, but I believe just from watching them, something's going on. I don't know if is Salah thinking about leaving? Have they argued? Something's going on.
And do you remember the Burnley game? Was it Burnley? Because when Mane came off and he started saying, he should have passed and stuff.
And he's right to be. Salah is the more selfish. But I guess if you're a goal scorer, that's part of being a goal scorer, is that you believe in yourself, so you take it on, and then the outsider looking in is gonna look at that as selfish. That's just how it is. But one thing I will say is that if you look at the amount of effort that the whole team as a collective put in last season, they were gonna drop off this season because the energy levels, they couldn't sustain it. They couldn't carry it going. Do you see what I'm saying? Add to that you don't have a good backup. Shaqiri, he's a good player, but he's not good enough to take one of their spots. Origi, good player, and he's done a lot. He's scored a lot of important goals for us, but he's not good enough to break the front three. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We need competition for places. That's something we definitely need, especially in the front three department. Jota, he can play each position, but you need more than one. You can't just have one guy. You know?
But the thing is, I feel like for both, obviously Tottenham and Liverpool, yeah, there's certain players, like for example Kane. It's so hard to find a backup because he's always going to play. So who's going to be happy being on the bench, like, and then saying, okay, if Kane gets injured, I'm going to play.
No, but that's where self-belief comes. You got to believe in yourself that I'm good enough to take this step.
Yeah, not many people are good enough to overlap Salah, Mane, or Kane.
That's what I'm saying.
If you are, you will not sit on the bench for more than max 5 games. Because it's impossible.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you need that rotation, 2-3 games rotation. That can work.
Yeah, but they can't be rotated like that. They can't. It's not.
I think there's certain players that can, and certain players that, because for Chelsea, I think they're happy to obviously Tuchel's like rotating it well. City obviously rotating it well. I'm sure Sterling's happy, but in time he will get his games, or he's got his games this season anyway. But there's certain players I feel like I don't think it'll work for them personally, but.
No, but I'm not necessarily saying drop them. I'm saying
no.
But what I'm saying is they need to fear for their position, that you get the best out of them, that they 100% game after game, training session after training session. If they look behind them, and if Salah he looks behind him, he sees Shaqiri. Do I need to say any more? If for me,
to be fair to them, they play like they're hungry. They play like if they don't win, it's their last meal. Like no, honestly, like they are really hungry. Like, and for players who don't really have much competition behind them, they're hungry, man.
They are. That comes from the manager, though.
Yeah,
that comes from the manager. But I don't know. I just feel like they. I don't think it's the end of the era. First of all, I feel like you're gonna see. First of all, I can't wait for this season to end, and we're going to see a much different season next season. But I do think that they need competition for their places. I do think that they need to look behind them and feel like, nah, you know what? I need to perform. I need to give 100%. Which I'm not saying they don't, but in every department. Who
would you want to see coming in?
I don't know. Sancho. I think Sancho can probably one that we could possibly afford. That we can't afford Haaland.
But can you afford to rotate those three? That's the problem.
I don't know. I mean, City seem to be doing it okay.
But their bracket's different. That's just the only team in the world that can really do that is City. Like the only reason why
they're the only team.
Because put it like this, they've got someone like Mahrez. Yeah. Then when Mahrez is off form, they got Sterling. When Sterling's off form, they got Foden.
Yeah.
If Sancho comes in, you could say that. If Sancho's off form, Mane. Yeah. If Mane's off form,
but the difference is the amount of money they're playing. One, the players won, and because Liverpool's budget is not as big, and two,
no, it's not.
When you look at it like this, you've got through Man City's team, they've got more world class players than Liverpool. Even though Liverpool's quite close to them, you got De Bruyne, Gundogan. Like they've got too many replacements. When he's not there, it's what's his name? What can you do with that? Like if you leave City and this right now, you'll be a fool. Like if Sterling got upset and left City, everyone around him like, big man, go back. He knows he can't get too angry, because if he leaves City now, it's not a sideways move or backwards move, but competing against City, it'll be very sour.
But that brings the best out of you when you're fearing for your position.
Of course.
It can go both ways. It can go it can go left, and they just feel sorry for themselves and they leave, or they pull up their socks and they go to the next level. That's why Sterling left Liverpool. That's part of the reason why he left. He saw there was no ambition at the club. We're not signing players. We're getting rid of players. In fact, let me go to City, and he went to the next level at City. If we brought in like a Sancho, exactly what Ish said, you can rotate like that. You can say if so-and-so's off form, this one comes in. If that one's off form, the other one comes in. Not only that though, Salah he plays right wing most of the time, but he can play centre forward. So you can rotate it like that as well. If Firmino's having an off game, but you brought in Sancho, then you move Salah to centre forward, and then you can play Sancho right wing. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can switch it up. I genuinely believe that one thing that we lack is competition for places.
That's true.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm going to jump in and just put the other side of the argument. You got to look at Salah, Mane, Firmino for like 2-3 seasons. They knew they was playing every single game. There was, like you say, they had Shaqiri there, Chamberlain maybe playing one of the 4 positions. But some people play their best football when they know there was like they're going to play week in, week out. The manager loves them. They was going on the pitch full of confidence, and they were flying. They were putting up stupid numbers. Maybe this year, I'm not saying that's the case because I do agree with your point about like competition for places. But they brought in Jota. Jota's come in and he done really well. Scored a few goals early on, and then Mane lost a bit of confidence. Salah's numbers dropped. Like Firmino was getting criticised. So it's very well saying competition for places, whatever. But Mane, Salah, Firmino, they was flying when it was just them 3. They knew they was there every game. No one was looking over their shoulder trying to take their place. They were putting up stupid numbers.
You got a fair point there. You got a fair point, but I don't feel like at that level you're not gonna get put into the team unless you deserve it. So Jota clearly deserves to get put in ahead of whoever got him. You see what I'm saying? You know, we don't see training, so these men, they know what they're doing. Jurgen Klopp knows what he's doing. You know?
Yeah.
It's not or Ryan Mason. Yeah, I'm joking.
But for me, that's why I think City do so well. It's because competition. It's like Foden knows if he slips up, Sterling's back in. But it's like Sterling. Look at Sterling. Like, I always say Sterling. For me, Mahrez is a million times better player than him. Like, when Mahrez first came in, Sterling ate him up for a few seasons. Like, Mahrez wasn't really the main guy, but now you're really starting to see him shine. But it's like there's only a few people that are guaranteed starters. But apart from that, you could get swapped out. And like I was saying to you the other day, Mendy, how the hell is Zinchenko, who came as a centre mid, attacking midfielder, a young, he's playing over you in Champions League? I'll be going bold. Like,
it's nothing wrong going bold, bruv.
He doesn't care, bro. Picking up his team.
Man, it hurts. Champions League final. You're about to go to Champions League final, and you'll see the guy not even play your position. He's not even playing your position, playing your position in front of you. It hurts.
Nah, deep down. But
that's like when Klopp was picking Milner over Alberto Moreno.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
I think it's a trust thing. He doesn't trust Mendy.
Guys, obviously, it's been interesting to hear from you guys. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the notification button to tell you when the next post. There'll be a lot more content coming up, so stay tuned and take care. Nice one.